Milk into plastic, a myth or a fact? The purpose of this project is to identify how different proportions of ingredients react to one another. My hypothesis is that it is a fact because milk and when you put milk and vinegar together, it like separates out, and I think after you let it dry, then it'll become into like a hard thing. If you don't like soak out the milk properly, or you don't put in you put in more milk or more vinegar, it won't exactly turn into plastic. You have to make sure you follow the rules, otherwise it won't really mix properly or it won't turn into plastic. The results of this project were Helen and I expected it to be plastic, to be quite hard and sturdy. This was the first time we tried it, so it didn't really work out that well. I had soon realized that it wasn't as stiff as we imagined it to be. The plastic was a bit like dough, and during the project, whereas the research said it would be like clumpy and thick. Lastly, we realized that the theory was a myth and a fact at the same time, because it did turn a little plastic-like, but after some adjustments to the recipe, since our first attempt was not the same procedure according to the research, it wasn't the same. We just tried to see like what would happen if put in a little bit more vinegar or a little bit more milk, and try to see if it really made a difference, and it did. So make sure you follow the ingredients for it. This works. How does this work? A chemical reaction takes place when milk is mixed with vinegar. Milk contains protein, which is about 1 gram per ounce. About 80% is known as casein, and the rest is called whey protein. When milk is mixed with vinegar and acid, the casein separates out and can be removed as solid lumps. The reason why vinegar makes this reaction, other than being an acid, is that milk contains casein, which is negatively charged, and vinegar contains hydrogen ions, which is positively charged, which creates a chemical reaction causing lumps to separate. I chose this because when I was scrolling down the website, it said turn milk into plastic, which caught my attention, and it was a one-day process as well, so it was pretty easy too. When I researched a little bit more, it said Queen Mary used to use this plastic for her jewelry. But at the end, my hard work turned out great. The first time, as I said, I put in the freezer, which it got hard, but then after you took it out, since the frost on it, it melted, so it became like dough again. Basically, the whole procedure was pretty easy, but the recipe was really simple. So it didn't take much time, and it was really simple steps which are easy to do. Materials you'll need for this project are a pan, a strainer, a spoon, paper towel, spatula, glitter that's optional, vinegar, and a cup of milk. So you start off, you're going to take the cup of milk, and you're going to pour it into the pan. You're going to put this on the stove because it needs to heat up a little bit. You're also going to add the 4 teaspoons of vinegar. Now you're just going to wait for this to separate. You have to make sure you mix it most of the time, and as you can see now it's starting to separate, so the vinegar is like on the top and the milk mixed in with the vinegar. It's becoming like clumps. So now what we're going to do is you're going to take the strainer and you're going to take the pan. So you're going to pour this in here. And this means you're going to need a spatula. You're going to make sure you soak all the vinegar out. You have to make sure it's all soaked out, so now you can put it on the tissue. Make sure you also soak this out as well properly. So now you can flatten it out and make it to any shape. And now you can put in glitter. You're supposed to let that sit for overnight, and it'll become something like this. It's gonna be very hard that you can't even break.